Uh, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Originally, I was going to be playing on this on a separate channel. Yeah, there's going to be a reflection. If I was to turn off the TV, the lighting would be bad. So I'm not going to do it. So, I was originally going to do this video on a other channel that I wanted to do reactions on, and have to be the first one on there. And I decided not to because my audience on there is not as broad as it is on here, even though it's still small here. The other one would literally only have 0 subscribers. And the one that does have subscribers from like a previous time I did YouTube. But I bet you none of them even remember subscribing. So we are doing it on this one, my main account channel. So yeah, why not? You know, I don't do these face-to-face things as much. And I know I don't really even post as much anymore. I pretty much post whenever I feel like it or whenever a game comes out that I am enjoying. Yeah, so, with that out of the way, today guys, you guys are going to be watching my review of the movie Spider-Man Lotus. I've been waiting for this movie for almost 2 years. 2.5, basically. God, this movie was fucking fantastic. So, just a little disclaimer, I'm not even going to get into any of the controversy that happened last year with it. If you think I'm going to be doing that, you thought wrong. I feel like that movie's gotten way too much controversy that it's gotten to the point where it's boring, and people were only doing it because they need views. The movie that was coming, they had their premiere a couple days ago, and all I saw was them just hating and trying to poke fun and have humor at it by dicking on it. So, if you guys know the backstory and the backstory about it, you guys know. If you guys don't, you guys can just go look up for you. You're not gonna get anything from here, because I feel like I'm not going to judge this movie based off of someone's past. I'm gonna judge it based off their work and how well I liked it. The people that it's affected still came out and said how great the movie was. So, take that for your answer, if anything. Don't be one of those people who are overdoing it, okay? With that out of the way, though, we are going to talk about my review of Spider-Man Lotus. Like I said, I've been waiting for this movie for 2.5 years. When I saw the first trailer, it was like the teaser trailer, and it was still though a 2-minute trailer. And the trailer just is what got me in. Since it is a fan film, okay, it is not affiliated with anything to do with Disney, Marvel, or Sony, so it is a fan film. And when you expect fan film, you expect horrible quality. You expect, maybe video cameras or phones, bad costume designing, bad props. They use real life housing instead of sets. And with that, the lighting may not be good. They don't have good lighting. But when I watched the trailer, I saw an actual movie. I saw an MCU caliber movie. And the teaser trailer brought me in. Going into this, I didn't know what Spider-Man Lotus even really was. I saw the trailer for a few times before that. I never watched it because I'm like, it's a fan film. Like, the fan film's not going to be good. But I decided why not watch it? Give it what the hell. So I didn't know the backstory of what Spider-Man Lotus was. I don't know this, so I don't want people quoting me on this, but I don't even think the comic book that's based on is really called Spider-Man Lotus. And if it is, okay, cool. But the backstory is Gwen Stacy died. Green Goblin killed her and shit. Peter kills Green Goblin, putting up the mantle of Spider-Man. And this kid who's terminally ill writes out to Spider-Man saying that he would like to meet him because he doesn't have much time left. It's like his final wish and shit. And so Peter goes and meets him as Spider-Man. And the kid really kind of saves Peter as Spider-Man. Peter is devastated and is depressed and is angry with himself about Gwen. And the kid brings back the life of Spider-Man that Gwen would have, and did bring Peter that joy of it. And we go from seeing Peter from being a, devastated kid. I'm pretty sure he's in college. Devastated college person, to putting it behind him and using it to move on and to move forward. And we see that in this movie. It's inspiration. And the guy that directed it is really bugging. The guy that directed it was a big Spider-Man fan as a kid, so it was always his dream to make a Spider-Man movie. He always wrote comic strips or some ideas like, oh, this is going on, this is it, and he released it on his thing. But then he wanted to make a movie. And so he brought in a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure other people helped him out with that, and he was able to get the theater cameras, great lighting, sets, and he was able to get an actual VFX team to come help out with the movie. And usually, what you don't see that with when you're doing a VFX team is when you get people to do the CGI and shit, but the VFX team really makes it look good and great. And when you get one of those, it really looks cartoonish and doesn't look good. And when you watch in the beginning of the film, you do see that because the VFX team actually lost. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it. It's because of the controversy. I won't go into it. But they left. But the thing is that they were able to do, and you see it, is that they didn't start with it. It starts open with a car chase. Not a car chase. I would say more of like a, you got thugs in it that were driving, they were speeding. But it wasn't finished. But what they did finish was every single web sling. People who watch Spider-Man, who love Spider-Man, know they love web slinging. Is the main thing people love to watch in a Spider-Man film. Because it kind of shows the characteristic of Spider-Man, how young he is. Like, he bounces around, flips around, and you see different adaptations of that. When we saw Tobey Maguire's trying to really... No. So, when you watched Tobey Maguire's movies, you didn't really see that. He did some flips in the air, but he was more of a leap guy and more of a power guy. We watched Andrew, and that's all he did was just joyful web slinging. We saw Tom's a bit younger, so they want to go on that bit of, kid-like movements. Here, we got to see a mix of both. And it was good, and they made the web slinging fantastic. One thing that they didn't get to finish, I would say, is the webs themselves when they were doing the fighting. Like I said, they got the web slinging done, but a little bit, they needed probably to do a couple more times with the web slinging, the web fighting. And then they'd be done, but they didn't get that. But when you're watching it, you don't even really care, because you're in it, so I loved it. I was fine with it, Like, I had high hopes, and I tell you that it exceeded it by a margin, bro. Like, my expectations was, let's say, it was here. The movie brought it to here. That's how high this fucking shit got. It blew me away. Like, I could not wait for the movie to come out. And originally it was supposed to be released yesterday. And the director, Gavin, talked about the fact that he didn't expect it to take a little bit longer. He wanted to put in some more things for us in the movie. So people who didn't see it, and people who saw the premieres of it, didn't get to actually see the things he put in. It's probably some minor things, but minor makes it better. Who cares? He wants the audience to love it. And so he brought it out today, and I remember I woke up around like 1 or so, and I went on YouTube to check to see if he put it out, and it said that the premiere will happen tonight at 9. Like, okay, alright, that's all. That was a long time from then. So I pretty much just was watching TV and I played some games, but then when it came down to 9, it said that it was going to be up at 1, which was weird. But YouTube's premiere shit don't work well. A bunch of my videos that I watched that are premieres, they say they're going to be released here, and then it changes to here, but they release at the time that it said it was going to. So all I did was just I got food, got back upstairs, and it was on. It was a fantastic fucking movie. Like, I waited for this movie so long, and it was worth the wait. Like, the trailers were fantastic. The music choice was fantastic. Okay? I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. This movie is what Amazing Spider-Man 2 was trying to be honest. Like, well, did they face anybody? Was there any, like, villains that they faced? No. Besides Green Goblin from the flashbacks, it's not about that. It's about Peter's struggle of having to be Spider-Man and how this kid helped connect him back to being who he has to be. The kid brought the fact that, you saved a bunch of people. Okay, you saved so many lives. It's about you and making sure you can move on. Like, Peter and Gwen's relationship was a perfect movie romance, right? We got to see some footage of them, when they were, like, I would say younger, but probably like a year or two behind or so. And they were just so joyful and fun to watch, and it relates a lot with current day relationships. They want to have the perfect moments, they want to have the cute moments, and it really felt like that. It was fun to watch. Harry and MJ perfectly fit. We finally got the perfect comic accurate MJ. MJ's been portrayed as like someone in like Tobey Maguire movies that would like want to be on Broadway, of course, and really didn't care who she hurt, but she liked Peter, she liked Harry, she liked Flash, dated Harry, cheated on him several times. Well, I don't think she actually cheated on Flash. She cheated on Harry, and then she did cheat on Peter. She cheated on John. Yeah, she tried cheating on John. But it was, to me, she doesn't care about anyone but herself. Not until later, but to me, I feel like she never cared about Peter until she found out that he was Spider-Man, and like, oh, you saved me. Like, it's really like gold digger type ways. But then she starts to come to the earth, right? And she starts caring for them for real, not because of things or parties or stuff. But we got to see that here, Harry, we don't see much of Harry's drug problem. I didn't know that until like I watched this, and I watched Gavin talk about it. It's like, we don't see much of Harry and his drug problem, and it's brought this to light. He's addicted to pills, and we got to see the struggles that he's going through. How Gwen's death affected them all, because Gwen died and then Norman died, and that affected Peter and affected Harry at the same time. So it was like Peter's dealing with Gwen while Harry's having to deal with Gwen and Norman, right? MJ's having to deal with Gwen, and we get like a lot of good callbacks. Like, I think Gwen is the perfect Spider-Man relationship. I think she's just, when you think about MJ or you think about Black Cat, or you're going even further with Kitty Pryde or other people like Liz Allen, Gwen's the best, because we gotta see it in here. Peter fought with MJ about it. The fact is that you never cared for me. You never really cared for me at all. You don't understand me. You never understood the people that me and Gwen were, right? Put in the fact that bring up Peter's geekness. If I could do it. Okay, that should probably fix it. But they brought out the best in Peter with being the geeky side and showing like, okay, I'm a geek, right? And Gwen kind of being the same, but bringing up Peter and liking Peter for Peter, and MJ never was like that, and people don't understand that. Okay, Peter like was always amazed about MJ and her looks and shit, but MJ was never really like that for Peter. She kind of like never really cared for him really until later on. But Gwen was there from day one, right? Gwen is the type of girl I would want to date. I don't get two shits if you're fucking gonna be a movie star or something. If you like me for me, then fine, right? And we don't really get that MJ until Spider-Man 3 and Toby's verse, where she was really like all about that. But even with that, we don't see MJ after that. Like Mary Jane Watson, we have MJ Watson, which is Michelle Joan Watson in the Tom Holland verse in the MCU, and then we never got her in the Amazing Spider-Man verse. We were going to in the third movie, but they canceled it. But this is how Amazing Spider-Man 2 wanted to deal with it. It's like the aftermath, I guess, right? But we never got that in there, you know. This is like the best dramatic Spider-Man movie. Like, Spider-Man movies have been trying to be dramatic. And when I say, like, I think the only one that's really fulfilled that dramaticness has been Spider-Man 2, where he's fighting to be Spider-Man because he wants to be with MJ, and he can't get both. He can't be Spider-Man and then have MJ, and it's dramatic. You know, Amazing Spider-Man has had that dramatic shit, but Amazing Spider-Man is more about the love story between Gwen and Peter. This is the best dramatic Spider-Man. Like, first of all, best comic accuracy, by the way. Okay. Best comic accurate MJ. I think Warden Wayne played a phenomenal Peter and Spider-Man. Gwen she was an amazing Gwen, bro. Harry, Sean played an amazing Harry. Okay. You know, and we even got Flash Thompson, bro. And Flash is friends with Peter. You know? Him and Peter were friends. Like, that was cool to me. But another thing with the kid, he asked for Peter to see who he really was. And we saw that in like the cartoon, where Peter shows his face to, you know, a girl, and we don't know that's terminally ill, and then we find out when he leaves that it's a terminally ill child, so that's the only reason why he did it, because she was gonna die, and do it. But they did it better by being like, he's trusting him, but he's doing it because he's ill. You know, you never want to be that person who says no to a terminally ill kid, right? Because they weren't like you. They didn't have a chance to really grow up and fulfill their life. So you give them everything they want, and he trusted him. And he realized he gave Peter what he needed to hear, and it worked. Okay, the swinging, like I said, was amazing. Transitions were amazing too. Like, there was a transition from Harry on the bridge to Peter on top of the Brooklyn Bridge, bro. Amazing. Like, this was a 10 out of 10 Spider-Man movie. This is a movie that I will rewatch all the time if I want to. Like, I want to watch a Spider-Man movie. Like, I've watched No Way Home a lot. I've watched Andrew's movies tons of times. I have both of them. Okay. I watched Toby's movies. I've watched them all the time, and I have that. I've watched them since I was like 3 years old. Okay. So yeah, this is a movie that's rewatchable. I rank my shit off of, if it's good, if it's rewatchable, it's phenomenal. If it's not rewatchable, it's good, but I will never rewatch it. You know, or I'll rewatch it here and there. This fills in and fits the rewatchable role. I will rewatch the shit out of it. Warden was an amazing Peter, like I said. You know, he really gave us the emotional scenes that we wanted. He really gave us the angry scenes that we wanted. He gave the sentimental, like, I'm sorry scenes. You know, Aunt May was not in this movie. Well, actually, no. By the way, I will recorrect what I said. We did see a fight that wasn't on a flashback, which was a shocker, but it was technically still a flashback. But we actually got to see the fight scene. And like I said, we didn't see an Aunt May though. They did give her callbacks and mentions, like, May called me, or have you seen May? May told us, like, we got that. We got mentions of JJJ. He wasn't cast in the movie. We got a bunch of mentions of him. Norman was casted though, but he only filled the roles as flashbacks, which I think that was perfect because we got to see, like, how they're being tortured and stuff, like how Harry, as a kid, was always being tortured by his dad, not physically but mentally, verbally. Like, you're not an Osborn, you're weak. Like, no one Osborn that we see in the comics. right? I think overall, like I said, this is a great fucking movie. I think this is, if I had to rank this, because like I said, this is like a top tier theater movie, bro. He had 2 premieres and everything. Okay, I'm pretty sure. So, like, everyone loved it, like I said. There won't, of course, there won't be a second one because of, again, the controversy. But I don't even think there really needs to be one because it gives us the Spider-Man life that we want. And if they do a second one, go ahead. I'm fine with that. Like I said, they probably won't get one because of the controversy, but um, all the cast people who were part of the movie was there, you know, and they gave their thanks. Like this is a 2 to 3 year project, right? And like I said, it looks like I'm watching an MCU film. Okay. Um. So I think if I had to rank this between like the top like tier movies for Spider-Man, because I feel like you should. Like you can't be cool. It's not like, dude, this was written by one guy, right? He had help like Peter, the guy Warden. He was a second-hand director and producer on the film. But Gavin wrote, choreographed, produced, directed the movie. Okay, and you got what was a theater MCU film. You had a top tier in Marvel Spider-Man film, right? If I had to rank it, I would say it would probably be above Amazing Spider-Man. I hold Amazing Spider-Man pretty high though, so it's like I have it above there. I will have it above Amazing Spider-Man 2 because this is the movie that they wanted to do, just didn't because they wanted to have Gwen's death in the end. If they had Gwen's death in the middle, we would have gotten to see a lot. So we're like, well, that'd been a long movie. I'm not saying you do a 4 hour movie, but do like a 2.5 hour movie where we start out with, we don't even know Harry's Green Goblin, right? He's wearing a mask or something, bro. But someone comes Green Goblin, boom, kills Gwen, and we have to deal with the rest of the other half of the movie with Peter dealing with his issues, right? I still hold No Way Home a lot higher though, so it won't be above No Way Home. It's definitely above Far From Home. Um, I think it's above Spider-Man 1. It's not above Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3, it's above, and that's a pretty dramatic movie too, kind of. Um, Spider-Man Homecoming, I'll have above it too. So I'll have to rank it 4. Like, I just thought it was fucking good. Anyone would say the same. The rankings may be different, but again, it's my own opinion, but everyone would agree with me that this was a phenomenal movie. So, I feel like if you want to watch a Spider-Man movie and you don't have money, go search up this movie. Go search up Spider-Man Lotus. And it's a 2 hour movie. You see fan films being like a 40-minute to 50-minute thing. It was 2 hours. And it did not fucking fail. Like I said, it exceeded my expectations, and I had high expectations. Like I had no expectations. Like I had high expectations based off the trailers. The music was phenomenal. Okay, they killed it with the beginning and the ending credits was phenomenal. One of my favorite songs now is because of this movie, "Alone in the Dark." That's a fantastic song. Okay, it was a fantastic movie. Okay, 10 out of 10. I'm gonna let it be for the day, and then I want to see if they got any ratings. Because I know they're gonna get ratings on IMDb. They have their shit for that. So I will see what the IMDb says. But I'm gonna probably watch a lot of reactions tomorrow about people's opinion. But my opinion, like I said over and over and over now, 10 out of 10, a perfect Spider-Man movie. That was fucking fantastic. Like I said, they were gonna do a second one, bro. I'm all for it. Okay. I think that, there was hiccups, of course, like I said before, but the wait was worth it. If like I said, if you want to watch this, go on YouTube, search up Spider-Man Lotus, bro. You'll have a good time, bro. Bring your friends or get someone close to you that's a big fan of Spider-Man, bro. Show them this. Like I'm probably gonna show my family this, right? Sit them down and like, okay, let's watch a movie, and then it'll be on YouTube. It's a 2-hour movie. It's a fan film, but the fan film works. Like I said, fan films are different. Fan films are different, but this wasn't, to me, this wasn't a fan film. This was a real life MCU film. That's what it felt like. John Watts thought the same thing. He told him that he was impressed when the trailer first came out, because it was everywhere. And that's why I didn't want to watch, because I thought it was like, oh, it's a fan film, right? But it was everywhere, so I decided to watch it, and I'm glad that I did, because it was fantastic. So, hope you guys do enjoy. I will, like I said, go check out the movie Spider-Man Lotus, and go watch other people's reactions. Don't just watch mine, because some people may agree with me and say it's perfect, but they may have different things that they touched on. So make sure you guys do that. Drop a like, subscribe. We should have. I might start doing some videos next week or something. I don't know. Don't count on it. By the end of this month, though, I probably will be having a job. So I'm doing that to make sure I get you guys good content, though. Make sure I get myself a PS5 and Marvel Spider-Man 2. That you can count on. So hope you guys do enjoy. Like I said, drop a like, subscribe. Go check out Spider-Man Lotus right now. Go watch other people's reactions. And make sure when you guys do it, just comment something nice. If you guys loved it, comment nice things. Don't comment mean things unless like you want and that's your thing. Like I said, critics are critics. But go watch it. It's phenomenal. You guys will love it. See you guys the next time. Peace.